Nobody warns you. No countdown, no signal, no grace period. One moment you are standing, and the next moment everything you have built is gone forever. And the worst part is not the loss that destroys most people. It's what they do in the silence afterwards. Stay with me, because what I'm going to show you doesn't come from therapy, doesn't come from motivational quotes. It comes from the coldest strategic mind in human history. And it will change how you carry yourself forever. Intro. Machiavelli didn't write for the comfortable. He wrote for the broken, the betrayed, the ones standing in the ruins of something they have gave everything to. Because that's when the real game begins. What do you do in that moment? That's who you actually are. 9 principles. Cold, strategic, built for the ones who are done being broken. Let's get into it. Section 1. Weak minds seek comfort. Strong minds seek control. When most people get hurt, they reach outward. Friends, noise, distraction. Anything to escape what's burning inside. And I understand it. Comfort feels like a relief. But here's what comfort actually is. It's a trap. The slow kind, the kind that feels warm right up until it kills your potential completely. Machiavelli was clear. Control is the highest form of power, but it doesn't start with other people. It starts with your own reactions. You have been trained your whole life to numb yourself, scrolling, eating, blaming, all of it. Designed to keep you from facing the war inside your mind. But the person who rules their mind rules the world. While others chase pleasure, you train focus. While they seek reassurance, you sit with discomfort. While they panic, you plan. People will call you cold when you stop reacting emotionally. Let them. They are saying it because they can no longer predict you, and they can no longer manipulate you. Your silence will confuse them. Your indifference will offend them. That's good, because you are not here to be understood. You are here to be uncontrollable. Section 2. Break the emotion, build the edge. You were never weak because life hurt you. You became weak because you let emotions hijack your judgment. You handled your mental power over to chaos. And the second you did, you became prey. And here's what most people miss. Pain is inevitable, but how you interpret it, that's entirely yours. Think about what emotional reactivity actually does. It makes you predictable. The world studies you. If your reactions are automatic, you are already owned. They know which words trigger you. They know how to bait your anger. They know how to pull your need for validation like a string. Every time you respond the same way, you confirm you are still not free. So what's the move? It's emotional discipline. Not emotionless, but disciplined. You feel the heat, but you don't move unless it's calculated. You process the pain, but behind closed doors, you speak less. And when you do, every word carries weight. Machiavelli wrote that it's safer to be feared than loved. In psychological warfare, that's not cruelty, that's clarity. Love makes you soft. It ties you to illusions, but quiet, unshakable control that makes people cautious around you. It commands respect without demanding it. You have been broken before. This time, you will break through. Section 3. Rewrite the narrative or stay broken. Most people stay stuck because they accept the story life handled them. They wear their suffering like a badge. They replay the betrayal. They keep the wound open because closing it would mean letting go of the identity they built around you. But here's the cold truth. Your trauma is not your personality. Your pain is not your identity. It was a hit, a test, a chapter, not the whole story. And definitely not the final one. You want power? Stop telling the world what happened to you. Start showing the world what you became because of it. Just make sure the version they are looking for doesn't exist anymore. People will try to remind you of your past. Let them. Machiavelli understood perception is more powerful than reality. When you speak, make it count. When you walk into a room, carry silence like a weapon. When they doubt you, don't explain, but exceed. There will be nights when your own mind feels like the enemy. You will question everything. You will want to disappear. And in that moment, you face one choice: collapse or construct. The mind doesn't respect hope. It respects discipline. You are not the damaged version of your past. You are the weapon that version created. Section 4. Kill attachment. Build inner power. Attachment is the quietest killer of mental power. It doesn't announce itself. It feels like love, like loyalty, like hope. But underneath, it's turning your strength into chains. You wait for people who aren't coming back. You compromise your standards to keep situations that were never meant to stay. You bend, slowly, gradually, until one day you look up and realize you have handed someone complete control over your peace. That's the first fracture in your armor. Caring too much about things that don't care about you. Machiavelli didn't build power by clinging. He built it by watching, calculating, detaching at exactly the right moment. So here's the principle. Never tie your peace to anything external. Not a person, not an outcome, not a version of yourself you think you are supposed to be. The moment something controls how you feel, it controls you. And a controlled person is a weak person. Become emotionally independent. So up calmness when chaos surrounds you. People will wonder why you don't react, why you don't beg, why you don't flinch. That's when the transformation is working. Your silence becomes unsettling. Your absence becomes loud. Your detachment becomes dominance. And here's what they will say. You have changed. You don't care anymore. And they are right. You finally stopped bleeding for people who never noticed your wounds. That's not selfishness. That's self-respect. You don't need closure. You don't need applause. You need clarity. And the space to execute your next move in silence. Build an internal fortress. No one gets the key. And once you do, the world loses its grip on you completely. Section 5. Isolation is where kings are forged. They will tell you isolation is dangerous. That being alone means something is wrong with you. And that's a lie. Told by people who can't stand silence. Because silence forces them to face themselves. Weak minds need constant noise, constant company, constant distraction from the war happening inside. But you are entering something different now. Chosen solitude. And in that solitude, you will build what nothing external can give you. An unshakable mind. When you go quiet, everything surfaces. Every fear, every old belief, every insecurity that's been hiding behind the busyness of your life. It's not an attack, it's an audit. Machiavelli thrived in the dark. He observed, he plotted, he sharpened while others played in noise. Because isolation gives you something crowd never can. Clarity free from illusion. Most people run from that silence. They feel it instantly, but you are going to sit in it and dominate it. You will hear old habits whispering, past relationships trying to come back, your doubts dressing themselves as logic, and you don't answer the door. You will study alone, build alone, evolve alone. And when you return, you won't be the same. Section 6. Turn pain into precision. Think like a tactician. Pain is the greatest intelligence test life gives you. Not school, not degrees, not experience. Raw pain. The kind that breaks your routine, strips your ego, and tears your illusion wide open. And in that chaos, the future strategies go quiet. They stop feeling, they start calculating. They treat pain like a message, like a data, like a warning from the universe that says, adapt now or get erased. Pain shows you where you are exposed. It reveals you who you depend on. That's not suffering, that's intelligence. If you are ruthless enough to use it, Machiavelli would tell you, never let peace lull you into softness. The world is a board of traps. When you start treating it like a battlefield, pain stops being bad. It becomes feedback. But others collapse under emotions. You craft responses, not reactions. Because a response is a product of strategy. It's timed, it's chosen, it's cold. That's power. Stop praying for less pain. Train your mind to extract the value inside it. That's how you win. Section 7. Become emotionally immune. Kill their control. The world doesn't destroy you with weapons. It destroys you with expectations, with emotional bait, with the quiet pressure to explain yourself, defend yourself, prove yourself over and over again. And every time you comply, you lose a piece of yourself. That's how control works. Not with force, with emotions. But here's the distinction that changes everything. Immunity is not numbness. Numbness avoids, immunity observes and remains unaffected. You feel it, you hear it, but it doesn't reach your core because you have reinforced the wall inside, and nothing that isn't true gets through anymore. Audit everything that touches your energy. Every conversation, every environment, every person, everything. One question, does this strengthen me or does this scatter me? And the second you feel shrinking, cut it. Emotionally, strategically, quietly, not for revenge, but for preservation. They don't need to know you are done. They will feel the void where your emotional investment used to live. And they will spend weeks trying to figure out what shifted. That's your power, not aggression. The version of you they are used to, the one that over-explained, tolerated, begged to be understood, that version is gone. What stands now is a mind that they can't access. Powerful people don't speak often, they don't explain, they don't argue in public. They don't perform for the room, they simply walk in and the atmosphere shifts. That's not arrogance. That's calibration. Machiavelli wrote that rulers must appear strong even when they are not, because perception in the game of power always outranks reality. So you train for this, to become unreadable, calm, still, collected. You let your silence become a mirror. People project on you their guilt, their fear, their intentions, and you say nothing. You let them reveal themselves while you reveal nothing. That's how you win without lifting a finger. Weak people overcompensate. They talk too loud. They overshare. They brag. That's insecurity performing. But you are becoming something rarer. If they don't respect your presence, make them feel your absence. If they challenge you, respond with action, not noise. If they expect you to fold, rise silently. You don't need to dominate through aggression. You dominate by being the one who doesn't need to. That's the energy that changes rooms before you speak a single word. Section 9. The unbreakable mind. You feel the betrayal. You sat alone in the dark with thoughts that nearly consumed you. And you are still here. Not because it got easier. Because you finally understood. The world doesn't reward softness. It rewards the mind that refuses to die. Even when everything else does. This is where you become something different. Not a survivor, not a victim, a weapon. A presence that doesn't flinch, a mind that doesn't fold, one that has been tested 1,000 times in silence, and every time it didn't break, it recalculated. Machiavelli's coldest law: he who controls his mind controls the world. The unbreakable mind isn't built through hope, it is built through design, through daily choice, through ritual. Every morning you choose sharpness, every decision is a move, every response is calculated. When life hits you now, you don't panic, you pause. You don't collapse, you adjust. You don't seek comfort, you seek control. You walk differently, you speak less, but when you do, people listen. You no longer try to fit into rooms, you own the space with your presence. And when people realize that they can't control your mind, they start respecting you differently. They stop testing, they stop wasting your time, because everything about how you carry yourself communicates one thing: this person is untouchable. Not because they fight, but because they no longer bleed for the world. You didn't get here by accident, you got here because life tried to break you, and you used every single broken piece as fuel, every betrayal as a blueprint, every disappointment as a sharpening stone. That's the kind of power no one can take from you, because it wasn't given by the world. It was built in silence, alone, step by step. If something in these 9 principles hit you, drop a comment right now. Tell me which one landed hardest. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it to them. Not everyone is ready for this message, but the ones who are, they need to find it. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't, because what comes next goes even deeper. You are not rebuilding anymore, you are reprogramming. And the version of you that emerges from this, cold, clear, calculated, doesn't apologize for being powerful, doesn't explain its silence, doesn't shrink for anyone's comfort, doesn't ask permission, it builds position. Go quietly and let your next move speak for everything.